Ecclesiastes is the book that God chose to communicate to us life from the perspective of Him not being here. In other words, we acknowledge all the pursuits of the fleshly desires and even the fulfillment of those fleshly desires. And Solomon is pursuing what good will come out of all of the things that I'm giving my life to. And someone asked, as we began to do the minute a day, what do you want to make you happy? She goes, what are you talking about? Because I was presenting the fact that we can say we want something new, but Ecclesiastes 1 says there's nothing new under the sun. Whatever's been will be, and whatever is being thought of, it's been in ancient times. No, we didn't have AI. There's things we didn't have technologically today that we have them today, but we didn't have them in ancient of times. But the precepts and the principles, AI is to deliver you the truth. Ecclesiastes is writing and saying that you can be deceived. And how do we equate life under the sun and the temporary nature of our life and align that with the realities of our mind? The technology that's before us, the one thing that we can know without any communication from technology is that we all die. The temporal nature of life. There is a New Testament passage in 2 Corinthians 4 that proclaims what Ecclesiastes says, that the body is vanishing and that the body is temporary. But when it says the outward man vanishing, it also speaks of the inward man being renewed day by day. We don't lose heart, the apostles were saying. Even though our outward man is perishing, and in this case, they were actually being pursued and persecuted for their preaching. And they just acknowledge that their inward man is perishing. We may do that, but it's when we get to the old age, if we're fortunate, that we say that the light affliction, which is but for a moment, that is whatever I'm experiencing in this life, is not worthy to be compared to that which will be revealed in us, working a far more exceeding great value. So we're trying to bring value to life. Jesus said in John 10, I am come that you might have life and that more abundantly. The only way we can realize the abundant life is to not place it upon the fact that the outward man is perishing. That's not going to bring us joy or abundance. We're acknowledging limit. So, renewed. The outward man perishing, the inward man, even in our age, is being renewed. In fact, we have within us a spirit that groans within us, and it is waiting for the redemption of our bodies. So, Romans 8 tells us. And that we're saved in this hope. But as we read in our last little clip, did you say new? Well, look, there's nothing new under the sun. So if there's anything that's going to be new, it's your perspective on life. Christmas is coming up, and for many that will mean, hey, I get all of the old stuff out and all my new toys in. And as all of us that were blessed with being able to have the Sears catalog, and like many of you are doing now, making your Amazon list or your Sears list, it goes on, and year to year to year it does the same thing. It presents new things, which, if you look in your closet, you will realize that that new became old. So what do you want? And I don't know. That's the reason we're having this discussion. Because in the midst of life, we discover that there's nothing. That word vanity, which is hevel, nothing under the sun that brings lasting happiness. So now we challenge ourselves to discover the proclamation of Jesus and how to live the abundant life. Now, with Ecclesiastes, as we often do, we say, well, you know what I need to do? I need to know more. I need to go get my degree. I need to learn more about the way things work and the way that life operates. And Francis Bacon said, hey, knowledge is power. But Ecclesiastes says that when we know more, we have more to worry about. Think of it this way. Some of you are not old enough to know what it was like to be without computers, but the introduction of computers came along, and before you know it, we are all enjoying the information superhighway and communicating and being able to word process faster than ever before. A great blessing. And then the invent of the computer virus. Suddenly, that blessing that I had truly enjoyed and been a great benefit in life became something else to worry about. You'll see podcasters today selling VPNs, selling things because you have this, you need that. And such is life as it continues to go on, that you'll never be satisfied with the seeing nor ear filled with the hearing. They're always going to have a new program, a new PlayStation, a new, and it's all a repeat of that which has been done before. And in much wisdom, this knowledge is much grief. And he who increases knowledge increases in sorrow. The more we know, the more we know to worry about. Is it a blessing to discover you have terminal cancer in 3 months to live? The more you know, the more you know to worry about. Should we worry about such a diagnosis? No. We should live each day. We're going to see at the end of the book that fear God and keep his commandments. This is the whole of man. Cures come from knowledge. Knowledge is not bad, but knowledge brings added things. And when we add God and other human beings, our life experience changes. We begin to find the abundant life. Even when all things become old and die in this life under the sun, because there is another life under the S-O-N. That's why we're going to have these minutes a day and look at all the things we think will bring us happiness and leave us lacking. Be blessed. Talk to you.